Michael Arteta's men, are they crumbling? That is a big question that everybody in England is asking. They've been knocked out of the cup by Southampton. City are beat them in the cup final. They play City this weekend, and we'll be discussing everything to do with Arsenal's run in regards to the Champions League and the Premier League, and obviously their failures that are kind of making them doubt their own selves. But so we're at the crucial stage of the season. Arsenal have around 6 or 7 games left of the Premier League season, but after last night's result, they're now in the Champions League semi-final for the second year in a row. And obviously Atletico Madrid they're a very good team, but Arsenal are definitely favourites. We're not going into that, and getting a good opportunity to get to the Champions League final for the first time since I was born, 2006. Obviously that famous Barcelona game, but it's not about that in this video. In this video it's about discussing what has happened to Arsenal. Obviously at the start of the season I made a video, this video on screen, about Michael Arteta. He had to win this season, no matter of a doubt, had to win. And so far it's looked like it was going to do that. League Cup final, you were like, Arsenal definitely. City have not been the best team this year by whatever means, but they're getting there. They're really ramping up. But they won 2-1. Rico Lewis obviously scoring the goals. Nico Riley, I think it was, scoring the goals, and I always get mixed up with the two. But in the final, and they started Kepa, and that was the first big mistake, in my opinion. Starting your second goalie in a final, it was so crucial, because the last trophy you won was that, it wouldn't even count the Community Shield, it would count the FA Cup. That was the last trophy Arsenal properly won. And they lose that, and then a couple of weeks later they play Southampton. You think they're going to steamroll this Southampton, not having the greatest season in the Championship. They lose it. So, and it was very poor, the lineup was very poor, but even with spending so much money like on big players, they're still very, very bare at the attack. We saw last night in the nothing each draw that Arsenal are very bare. Without Saka, the creativity is shocking. Martin Odegaard's obviously not had much of a look in this season due to injuries, and even when he came back, he didn't look his true self. Madueke is really good on the right, but he's not got the quality of Saka in my opinion. Obviously up front, Gyökeres, people thought he was going to hit the heights, but his height hit at Sporting, and he could be Arsenal's answer. I'm still yet to be proven with that one, because I'm still unsure about him. I don't know. He's a very good finisher, don't get me wrong, but just needs to be consistent. But Arsenal injury crisis could have a part to play in this whole situation, but the other thing you have to consider is that it's not just injuries. They've looked like, I remember always watching Arteta's teams last year especially, and they were so good to watch. Timber, Calafiori, Declan Rice, Zubamendi's been very good this year, and it was so attacking. It was on the front foot, bang, 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 passes all over the place. Odegaard, Saka taking on every player all the time. It was just so fun to watch. But this year recently especially, they've kind of went off that pattern, and I think that is a big issue, especially when they play City at the weekend, and we'll get into that. But it just looks like the creativity just isn't there, and they've lost that mentality to keep going at teams. When they go behind against Bournemouth, they just look like it's happening again. That is literally what it is. It's happening again. We can't get it over the line. I think that's what's going through their head, and they have to be wary. If that happens against City, they'll be absolutely destroyed. Haaland's on form, Doku's on form, Semenyo, what a player. But it feels like this mentality is creeping into Arsenal's play that shouldn't be creeping into Arsenal's play. They need to continue to kind of work around that. Going on to the City game, obviously, Michael Arteta, the last couple of times he's went to City away, he's not played a really that attacking kind of lineup, which is a big issue when you're going into games like this and you are the favourites. You were 8 points clear, but now if City win, it is nippy bum time. Nippy bum time for Michael Arteta's men. But you go look at this game. City, their attack is on fire. Arsenal's the opposite. Timber, obviously injured. I'm actually unsure about the length of injuries, so I don't know if they're back for the weekend. Eze's obviously been amazing for Arsenal this season, but I really think teams like Arsenal need to step up when it comes. Yeah, they can't just sit and defend, and it's just they need to go at it. A team like Arsenal should be going into this game, and like the history that does decorate Arsenal, maybe not Europeanly, but English-wise, they're probably one of the most historic clubs in England. So they need to use that to their advantage. They have been more historical longer than City. They need to be like, we were here first. We will go and do this. We'll go and do this. They can't just sit off. They need to go for it. I would start Madueke out on the right, definitely, that kind of pace. Obviously, you need to have a pacey, you have to have a strong right back and a left back. When you play these kind of teams, they have to be solid in the middle, because Semenyo and Doku could absolutely rip Arsenal apart, a new one. Obviously, Reinders has been really good this season. They just have to make sure that they keep Haaland sleepy, they keep the wingers sleepy. I think their focus should be to control the ball, possibly get runs in behind, less defensively. Like, they just need to be good defensively, but not make it their main focus. They need to get goals, and get goals. I think that's the focus. If they go there, win, they've won the league, in my opinion. Dearly, in my opinion, if they win 1-0, they've won the league. But if they lose or draw, I think draw obviously leaves them in. It's still a gap, but if they mess up, it could be big problems. If they lose, it's nippy bum time. Honestly, Arsenal have to definitely watch themselves, because you just know in run-ins and title races, especially up here in Scotland, they're getting one. Down in England, Arsenal need to be consistent, and I think if they do go out all guns blazing, they will win on Saturday. My prediction will be 2-2 on Saturday. I'll probably do that on my TikTok as well. I think it's Saturday they're playing, or it's Sunday. It's this weekend, and we'll just say this weekend. I keep getting mixed up with the game sometimes, but it is simply and simple. Are Arsenal crumbling? That is what the question I asked at the start of this video, and I think there is a hint to that. And if they do lose, it is definitely true. But what do you guys think? Do you think Arsenal are crumbling, or do you think they're in the right mind frame to get over the line in this title race? And who do you think will win the title? If you don't think it's going to be Arsenal, do you think it'll be City, or do you think there's an odd chance for the other one? I don't think there is, but maybe it's your opinion. But let me know down below, and thanks for watching, guys. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hope you all have a great day, keep smiling, and goodbye.